Good morning. I'm Gary Wiles. So far, the presidential contenders for the Democratic nomination in 2020 have rattled off lots of ideas. These ideas seem to be centered on fear, inequality, and division. It's the Democratic Party's idea that these political tools should be combined. For example, according to a recent Bernie Sanders tweet on July 5th, he mentioned some phobias and social disparities he believes President Trump to have. To believe Bernie Sanders, quoting, "Donald Trump is a racist, a homophobe, a sexist, and a xenophobe, but we will defeat him. We won't let him divide us up," end quote. Truth of the matter is, Bernie Sanders has just divided those people with his above statement. He's counting on the racially sensitive, the LGBTIQA+, all women, and all non-American people to fear Donald Trump. For socialists, it's good to instill fear in people, especially if it helps their means justify their ends. If people in their fear are directed properly by the socialist, it can help with Bernie's political revolution. It also plays to the narrative that the same group of people have to feel less equal to other people, because the lie is Donald Trump doesn't like these types of people. These people are equal to other people. But don't worry, you can all gather up around Bernie and his agenda and you'll get a better agenda. What is that agenda? In another tweet Senator Sanders made on June 26th, he outlines his agenda. His message is simple. We are the wealthiest country in the world. Human rights are also economic rights, and that means no one has to try anymore. Healthcare, jobs, decent wages, education, and an end and elimination of all student debt in the country. Everything is handed to us on a platter. According to Bernie, these aren't radical ideas, even though he's taking much of it right out of Joseph Stalin's 1936 constitutional playbook. His further agenda, implied, is to redistribute the wealth away from the handful of billionaires and corporate executives to help the middle class and the 40 million people living in poverty. He goes on to mention just some of the industries he would target. He wants millions of people to stand up and fight back by taking on the power of Wall Street, the insurance industry, the greed of the pharmaceutical industry, climate change by taking on the power of the fossil fuel industry, changing national priorities by taking on the military-industrial complex, taking on criminal justice reform, and taking on immigration reform. Bernie states the handful of billionaires and corporate executives have incredible power over economic and political life in this country. Bernie followers just have to be in the millions and say enough is enough. There are three flaws with Bernie's plan. First, he doesn't say how he's going to pay for the funding for health care and the rest of it. The Affordable Care Act was supposed to be beneficial for all, and the insurance industry nixed it because they were hemorrhaging money. Their words, not mine. Oh, he did say taxes would go up, at least for those of us who would be taxed. Second, he wants to take on major industry to loose the economic and political power from the few billionaires and corporate executives who have it today, I guess. He mentions the middle class and the impoverished, but never outright says that any of this is to help them. He's vague on purpose. He'll throw the economy into chaos 6 months after he or someone like him is elected, and we'll be in a recession, if not a depression. I'm pretty sure major industry involves the racially sensitive, the LGBTIQA+, all women, and all non-American people. So how can he help these people if he takes on the industries they work for? Here are the definitions of socialism from the Merriam-Webster Dictionary. Number 1. Any of the various economic and political theories advocating collective or governmental ownership and administration of the means of production and distribution of goods. Number 2, A system of society or group living in which there is no private property. Number 2, B, a system or condition of society in which the means of production are owned and controlled by the state. Number 3, a stage of society in Marxist theory transitional between capitalism and communism and distinguished by unequal distribution of goods and pay according to work done. This is the real answer. Bernie wants to take our country through these definitions of socialism and end up with a communist country. The United States Socialist Republic, the new USSR. This is our real fear here, and if we don't defeat him and others like him, it will become our nightmare. The last and saddest flaw. Almost all the other Democratic candidates for president in 2020 think almost exactly like him. This is the other reason Bernie Sanders doesn't think any of this is radical. His partners in crime go right along with all of it. No choice, no equality, no justice, no better way of life. Just a transition of power at the top to form a government proven to be unsuccessful anywhere it's ever been tried. And just another bill of goods for us. Thank you.